Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad you joined us on this journey through time where every story is a window into the past, and every place holds a secret worth remembering. Today, we travel to the autumn of 1781 to a quiet peninsula in Virginia, where the fate of a young nation was decided not with a whimper, but with the thunder of cannon fire, and then silence. This is the story of the British surrender at Yorktown, the moment that changed everything for America. By the summer of 1781, the American Revolutionary War had dragged on for 6 long years. Hope flickered like a candle in the wind. The Continental Army, led by General George Washington, was exhausted, underfunded, and stretched thin. Across the Atlantic, Britain still believed victory was possible, especially after shifting its focus southward, hoping loyalist support in the Carolinas and Georgia would tip the scales. But then came a turning point few could have predicted. In Virginia, British General Lord Charles Cornwallis, confident, experienced, and fiercely loyal to King George, III had marched his army north after campaigns in the Carolinas. He chose Yorktown, a small tobacco port on the York River, as his base. It offered deep water access for British ships, and Cornwallis believed the Royal Navy would soon arrive to resupply and reinforce him. What he didn't know was that the French, America's crucial allies, were already moving into position. For months, Washington had been planning something bold. Instead of attacking British-occupied New York, as everyone expected, he secretly coordinated with French General Jean-Baptiste de Rochambeau to march their combined armies over 450 miles south toward Virginia. Meanwhile, the French fleet under Admiral Francois de Grasse sailed from the Caribbean, blockading the Chesapeake Bay and cutting off Cornwallis's escape by sea. It was a masterstroke of timing, secrecy, and international cooperation. By late September, the trap was set. Over 17,000 American and French troops surrounded Yorktown, nearly double the size of Cornwallis's force. Trenches crept closer each night, dug under cover of darkness. Artillery boomed day and night, shaking the earth and shattering British morale. Inside Yorktown, food ran low. Disease spread, escape seemed impossible. Cornwallis, ever defiant, tried a desperate nighttime breakout across the York River on October 16th, but a sudden storm scattered his boats, dashing his last hope. The next morning, white flags appeared above the British lines. On October 19th, 1781, the formal surrender took place. The scene was unforgettable. Thousands of soldiers stood in silence as the defeated British Army marched out of Yorktown to the tune of "The World Turned Upside Down," a haunting, ironic choice that captured the shock felt across the empire. Cornwallis himself refused to attend, claiming illness. His second-in-command, General Charles O'Hara, carried the sword of surrender. When O'Hara offered it to Rochambeau, the French general gestured toward Washington. But Washington, honoring military protocol, directed O'Hara to hand it to his own second-in-command, General Benjamin Lincoln, the very man who had surrendered Charleston to the British just 2 years earlier. It was a moment thick with symbolism, humiliation repaid with dignity, vengeance replaced by restraint. The surrender at Yorktown did not immediately end the war technically. Fighting continued elsewhere for nearly 2 more years, but it shattered Britain's will to continue. News of the defeat stunned London. Prime Minister Lord North reportedly paced the halls of Parliament crying, "Oh God, it is all over." Within months, peace negotiations began in Paris. 2 years later, in 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed. Great Britain formally recognized the independence of the United States of America, a new nation born not just from ideals, but from sacrifice, strategy, and an unlikely alliance that converged on a humble Virginia town. Today, Yorktown stands as part of Virginia's historic triangle, alongside Jamestown and Williamsburg. Walk its grounds, and you'll find reconstructed earthworks, silent cannons, and the very field where history turned. There's a quiet power here, not just in what happened, but in what it made possible. Because Yorktown wasn't just a battle won, it was the birth cry of a republic. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, if it sparked your curiosity, or reminded you why history matters, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who loves a good story. Every place has a past. Every past has a lesson. And together, we keep those stories alive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep wondering, and never stop listening to the whispers of history. Goodbye for now. And remember, sometimes the world really does turn upside down.